Welcome everyone to the Euro Trade. You may have noticed that there are some issues with the internet in the States, so obviously we're going to stay on combines. But the great news is that we have Mo here today with us, so we can have a nice chat, maybe talk about psychology. Mo, how are you doing today? Welcome.
Perfect day. Thank you very much. Wish that you have all good weekend and nice weekend to go ahead, inshallah, together. And we will have a very difficult week, it looks like, starting with this disconnection in internet. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. So, for anyone currently trying to trade, I would probably stick to combines or at the very least non-relevant XFAs, just in case you're not able to close positions or something happens. You want to remove risk whenever there are technical issues, and obviously an internet outage is a pretty big thing. All right, let's have a look at what we have this morning. So metals have been moving overnight as usual. Now, I'm planning to stick away from gold for a bit, and I will probably focus my attention to copper and RBOB, so energies and the like. Purely because gold has gone into a bit of a crazy range intraday. Mo, do you ever trade gold or are you ES at NQ?
Yeah, I used to trade gold back in before Corona, actually.
Yeah.
It has its unique price action.
Yep.
My problem with gold that when you used to trade gold, it become difficult to trade in Q.
Yeah.
It's totally different behavior, and I believe that trader should use to the behavior of whatever he's. If you have a dog, it's difficult to have another dog and treat him the same, you know. So I start leaving gold and focus in Q. But maybe when I'm back to ES, I think it could be a good idea to look at gold again.
Yeah. Well, for me, gold is usually a pretty nice product, but whenever the 30-minute time frame starts to wag around in candles that span like 130, 150 ticks, that's a sign for me to just bow out and go, okay, we're going to wait. Luckily, I trade many other things, so I have options there. Obviously, that's not easy, but the difference is that I've spent many years on focusing on one thing only before adding another thing. So I knew the behavior of the product like to the core, and then I would maybe add another one. I've also had great mentors along the way, Hogue being one of them. So to me, that's definitely okay to kind of switch between the two. But I have heard that before, that equities traders generally find gold difficult, and then if you trade gold, you go back to equities and you're going to find them difficult too. So definitely some truth. All right. So are you seeing anything this morning on your charts? Let me.
Uh, Usually Monday you cannot start seeing things until open,
Okay. Yeah. Do you
especially
have
Monday.
so do you do any kind of a weekly plan? Do you kind of look at the larger time frames? Like, how do you prepare for the week?
My first mission every week, every day actually, but especially every start of the week, is to define what type of day are we dealing with. So far, market is not clearly defining what type is it right now. The market started down and then starting making higher highs. Okay, so until this point, if the market never broke below, maybe let's say 6,717 in ES, which is the opening of this 2000 tick chart. This is the high of the initial balance range. As long as we are above this tend to be a reversal up day. A reversal up day. What is a reversal up day? When the market started in a way and then ripped off in the other direction.
Yeah.
So they turned the table on the starting people, and they
V-shape.
keep punishing them until
Yeah.
end of the day.
Making
So as
everybody
long but
miserable.
exactly, yeah. So everybody who shorted this and then try to short this, he's still in this trade short. The market will punish them until they exit. So,
Yeah.
but this is too early to talk about, because this is only, we're still below the high of the initial balance. So it's not clear until now. Maybe if we come back inside, that will make it a normal, regular day, which I expect, to be honest, at the beginning of this Monday. And be careful. You don't want to start trading Monday and stop after 20 minutes of the week. That's
exactly.
too bad.
Yeah. You don't want to blow up as soon as the market opens and you're done. And I've seen people do it for Globex as well, like Sunday night over where we are, 11 p.m. And I've even spoken to people who they're newer to the market and they feel the itch to trade. And then they're like, yeah, I opened 15 NQs as soon as Globex opened because I was expecting it to run. And then they run out of equity, like in about 3.5 seconds. And then they're like, well, now what? Well, nothing. You've got no account. Now you have to start everything all over again. And I say the same thing whenever we start to open a new session as well. So if let's say the London session is happening now, don't use all of your risk allowance on the first couple of trades on a Monday, because it's very likely that there's going to be some shakeouts, there's going to be weirdness. Yeah,
what I remember, I always say, don't be like this spoiled kid. He opens all the gifts before even people leave the party, so wait, give it time. Give the market the time to digest. Everybody is looking for information now. Why you are not waiting for information? Wait for information.
It's like a kid throwing the toys out of a pram, throwing a temper tantrum, and it's like, I have to trade now. Well, you're an adult. You have to, breathe a little. You can't get everything immediately. And trading is very much to do with delayed gratification. Bless you.
Yes.
All right, let's see who's in the chat. And whether people have been affected by this. Ruben says, UK is down. Hope my trades have been stopped. Elite HCG says, anyone else use other platforms? And no, Robinhood is down. Yeah, so I do use a few platforms. So I have TradingView. I have AMP MetaTrader 5. And I have TraderVate as well. And TraderVate seems to have come back online. No issues with AMP so far. But yeah, obviously some platforms were affected. Robinhood was down. Yeah, okay. FTMO was up. That's Forex. We don't want to know that.
Yeah, I also have NinjaTrader up and running.
Yeah. I don't have it up right now, but I do have Bookmap, so that seems to be okay. That's connecting through another service, which seems to be running okay. So yeah, a little bit patchy, probably depending on where the outage happened. I can't believe that it's like across the entire United States, right? It's a big country. So.
Yeah, maybe it's just the admins needs to restart their servers. Some of them they did, some of them they still sleep. So
yeah. So yeah, nobody could log in. So for those of you who are freaking out, so you wouldn't be, like, if anything is down in the States, you wouldn't be able to log in through anywhere, right? Whether you're over in England, whether you're in Riyadh, whether you're in Germany, like, everybody won't be able to log in because their servers are located in Chicago, last time I checked. So, AMP is good.
That's scary somehow, how we are so connected to one thing
it's a Chicago company, and imagine if the whole internet went down. That would be quite something.
Yeah, I don't know what would happen, if the internet is down for 24 hours on.
Yeah, if Corona was bad, can you imagine if we don't have internet?
I mean,
It would be a riot, man. Terrible. All right, let's have a look at chat. So AMP is good. Yeah, AMP is a obviously reputable company. They're generally pretty stable. Every time there's a big outage, their servers go down just like anybody else's. So, but yeah, generally they are very reliable. Let me hold the dollar man is swearing. So listen, technical issues will happen. You can't get annoyed because of technical issues. It's just how it is. Like, we can't control things, and the one thing you can control, or should be able to control, is your emotions. So don't swear in chat, be nice. And yeah, so somebody saying, wonder if they will still go live, doesn't seem fair to me. We'll just be a bunch of wine. Oh, don't worry about me, I have pretty thick skin, mate. That's all right. Okay. Okay, let me hold that. For the last 4 years, think of swim as under maintenance. The second the market closes on Friday. In that 4 years, not one thing has been made to work better. It just gets slower and worse. Yeah, I mean, some platforms that have existed for a very long time, they do suffer from a little bit of dinosaur mentality where they're not really updating things, and that's kind of to be expected. If you look at some of the stuff that banks are doing, they don't even update to like the latest Windows. And Mo, you've worked for banks, and they take a long time to actually move to the next version of Windows because they want to make sure that everything is pretty stable. So that's nothing new in the financial world. We don't want the newest thing with a lot of bugs and things that are not sorted out. So yeah, again, it's all a part of it's all a part of trading, man.
Yep. And also, I hate this part. Whenever there is a new upgrade or new Windows coming there,
No.
I am the last one who switch. I always do. I'm threatened every day now by Windows that there is no more maintenance for Windows 10. I have Windows 10. Everything here is Windows 10.
Yeah.
I like technology, but in trading, you don't want to touch anything that's working.
No.
Anything.
No.
If your strategy is working, don't touch it. Just leave it as it is.
Yeah.
So be the last in technology for trading. Be the last in changing. I'm trying to be the last, but I think it's inventable. I have to upgrade this Windows.
Yeah, I absolutely loathe upgrading Windows because something always goes wrong. I usually wait until the update is stable, and then I will roll it out once they fix things on the second or third run. But yeah, so no need to complain. Somebody's calling me a weird Euro girl who's always complaining about her immune system. Always? Well, excuse me for having a chronic illness and sometimes mentioning it. But yeah, okay. Now let's get some questions in from Mo, because obviously this is a unique opportunity for you to pick his brain and to maybe learn a couple of things. The percentage of traded capacity top secret probably like 0.5%. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. Don't know about that. Now you're probably having a tinfoil hat on there. And I've never really seen you in here, so I don't know whether you are under a different username or what, but you seem pretty negative. So let's stop the negativity. Again, second time. Otherwise, we're gonna have to get Bruno to deal with you, because we don't want negativity. All right, let me have a look at my Discord. So Bruno is saying Mo's audio a bit loud. All right, let me be the producer here and try to...
My voice is low?
Okay, so how's that, Bruno? Mo, can you say 1 2 1 2?
Yep. Am I okay now? We try to...
I'll do it on my end.
Closer.
So, yeah. Let's see.
Test.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why stop at 2? Is my microphone okay now, Bruno? Still the same, really.
Really?
Yeah, hold on. Let's try this. How about now?
Yep.
Should be a bit louder.
I haven't changed anything since, you know.
Yeah, it could be that too much difference between both audios. What? Let me check my mic settings.
Am I too low or it is manageable and you just want?
Yeah, the problem is I don't really know how much.
Low.
Hold on. Let me try something. 1, 2, 1, 2. Is it better now? Worse?
They can hear me, but not you, D.
Yeah, I don't. We're not going to be able to hear it in the green room, so it's something that goes out. But this is not a proper broadcast environment, and I don't have view meters, so I have no idea what's going on in this platform. So is it better, worse? I've just put both of them to automatically adjust levels. 1, 2, 1, 2. Anything? Same, really?
I think what's my problem now. I know what is it now.
Yeah?
Let me make sure.
Yeah, if you could just dial it down a little bit, because whatever I'm doing here, it doesn't seem to be affecting.
How can I change the mic? Should I log in again?
You know, you should be able to edit microphone settings. But yeah, if you want to log back in again, that's also a possibility, because it's gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, let me come back again. I think
Okay.
I'm choosing the wrong mic. 1 second.
All right. Okay. All right, we're gonna wait for Mo to come back. Yeah, it could be. Could you balance their audio, Jason? I'm the one who's the only one here. Bruno is a moderator, but you know, I'm using this StreamYard platform to bring guests in, and it doesn't exactly have like an audio mix or anything, and it does annoy me. It does annoy me, but it is what it is, and it gives me a very basic overview. So if something is happening, I don't have proper control over the audio. Okay, so Mo is coming back.
No.
Oh, that's a different microphone. It's less echoey as well.
Yeah, it was connected to the mic thanks to, I think some of the team he said, yeah, I'm using webcam. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe this is because this is the new stream.
Yeah, it's not new. I've been using it for quite a few months, nearly
Yeah.
a year now. Yeah, but it's just a it's a different platform where guests are basically easier to drag in.
Yeah, let's move on. Chad didn't want to hear about our microphones.
I know, but but still. Okay. All right, let's share my charts. Have a look at what copper is doing as well. I know I was sharing my charts. All right, so shall we do large time frames first?
Yeah, we have a nice pullback now for this ES. So we are about the high of the opening. Let's say not opening range, the Globex open here. The balance, it could be at 67.17, 67.18 in ES.
Did
so
you
that
have to share your charts because we lost them.
Okay.
All right, so copper from the larger time frame does look like it's in a bit of a holding pattern. There is a consolidation there. But Mo, why don't you tell us what you're thinking on ES?
Yeah, what I'm thinking here, it looks like the market is the sellers are doing great job in in selling this high, but as a buyer, if and market is strong, but market is bullish in general, so this could consider be a nice pullback to a level where buyers are expecting to see. But I don't think it will be that easy. We know the sellers, they always like to take stops and then go. So this level 6717, let's say up to 67, these low 6715 could be a nice area to buy the dip going higher, because I mean, we don't, as a buyer, you don't want to see the price going below this pivot. And because it's Monday, we are early, I expect the sellers will go to grab the stops of the buyers in here, because if you are a buyer and you're buying this pullback, you keep buying early, you don't wait, then usually your stop is here. So that when a situation where your stop is a better entry, so that could be a better entry for buyers at 6707. Technical wide, they should not break it, but we know the market on Monday. We know how markets goes sometime. This deeper pullback will be, looks like it's even bearish market. Before you know it, you got that V-shape recovery.
Reversal, yeah. So the only thing I'm seeing here in the ES is that so I agree that there is going to be some sort of a liquidity grab sub 715, but I also see some options levels lower down. So I have a couple of them at 705 and 700, and the 701 is a put support. So that's a put wall where a lot of zero DTEs are. So when that is the case, they do sometimes want to go and test that, because A, it's a round number, B, that's where the Globex open was. So I would be looking for an even deeper pullback at that point. And then to have the V-shaped recovery.
As demand area, it started at 6707, I think. Yeah, 6707, the demand area, which is the intersection in my moving averages with the smoothing line, up to 6705, which could be the stop. I mean, this is the demand area. The next demand area is 6675. So if we break this 6708, I don't see any other demand area except 6675.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So I do agree. It needs to go a little bit lower, and then we're going to see what they want to do with it. Now, if they manage to hold 705, I would still deem this a pretty decent opportunity for further upside. Now, if we go below that, like let's say Trump says something, everything goes nuts. That is also the gamma flip level at 705. And at that point, if we manage to hold below 700, we then have an even further deeper pullback towards your demand. That is, you said 6675 or something?
6675, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the same level that I would be looking towards. All right, cool. So that's definitely a weekly plan, or at least a daily plan. Yeah, so let's have a look at copper now. So that was ES, courtesy of Mo. All right, so copper weekly chart. I always start my analysis on very, very large time frames. As you can see, they really tried to go through this weak structure. But right now, we're consolidating at a halfway mark from that area. It can sometimes be a good area for continued shorts, but this is such a large time frame that that's just like a directional nudge, and then we have to see whether the daily and 4-hour and 30 minutes and intraday levels will be conducive to that idea. Daily chart, very flat. I mean, this is a consolidation if I've ever seen one. There's a little bit of a low volume node around 75.60. And let's have a look at the 30-minute time frame and where Asia low and high were. All right, so this is Asia low, where the currently observed point of control is located. This might be, that should be yellow. And then Asia high happened around 3:30 a.m. my time at 5:07.65. So that is the range that Asia has established. Now, if I'm looking to go into a continuation short, I would be looking for, at the very least, for a test of VWAP here, maybe even a little bit higher. And then from this point on, I try to find an options level that would speak to that idea. So VWAP up at 503. Yeah, and guess what? We have a gamma wall, so we have a call wall right at 503. So if we retest that and take that and then reverse, that could be a little intraday level. I don't think there's an opportunity for a massive day in copper today, and it is very early, so we need to be very careful. There is also a very good chance that we go all the way up to Asia high, take that, and then reverse. We have the implied volatility high that was already tested at 505. That's kind of like an ADR, like average day range exhaustion, very similar. And then I will be looking for a rotation through the Asia range. So that's something that happens a lot. If we at any point have very strong candles, you can call them maribozus, so something that doesn't have wicks in the opposite direction, it might be a case of copper breaking out of these areas. We do have a possibility of getting CPI or PPI news at some point. I don't know how the government shutdown is going. Is that so?
Yeah.
Let's see, 7 minutes ago. Third longest shutdown in US history. Yes, so Senate will convene and vote on Monday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, for the 11th time to end the government shutdown. So we'll see today whether they're actually going to reopen or not. But yeah, we'll see. So no news what to do, right? Okay, we have a question in the chat. Hey Deeyana, can you explain please what a gamma flip is? Okay, so it's a bit of a doozy. You have this thing called the gamma environment, and it's related to the delta. So the delta is the how much an option's price is going to change for every $1 movement of the underlying product. And depending on whether that number is big or not, you basically have something called the gamma environment, which can be positive or negative. Now, positive gamma means that the prices, as they're running into some of these options levels, will be adding some roadblocks along the way and even acting as stabilizers. So anytime you have a big rally, the market maker's job is to stabilize that price, so they will hedge against it. And that's why some of the options levels are very important. Now, if you have negative gamma, it likely means that those levels will act as accelerators. So on the day, if something is in positive gamma, but we have that gamma flip area really close by, first of all, that aids in the confusion of how the day might happen, because we're at such a big inflection point. So it's best to wait and see what the prices will do once the HVL level is tested before you exactly know whether they're going to bounce from it and continue in the same gamma environment, or they're going to break through it, and then eventually everything starts changing the behavior of the price action. So it's effectively a way to look at the behavior of the price action. And if you have that gamma flip on the day, things can suddenly go from super volatile to not volatile at all, or normal into extreme volatility because of that gamma condition change. And it usually happens from positive gamma into negative gamma as soon as Trump says something. So he says something and immediately you get prices going.
Does gamma stays at zero for a time? Can
So
that be possible?
Not too long. It would be, I think maybe in dead products, but in the ones that we trade, they're extremely liquid. So I would not expect gamma to stay at zero for equities. If you get something that has very low options activity, and it's not a speculative product, so people have to be in it because they have to be in it, like they're either users or producers of it, then yeah, you can have it staying at zero, but it's an unusual thing. So usually there will be one side that pulls. But yeah, so it's a very good question, actually. But yes, it's a very good way to look at price action behavior and to assume how the market is going to react. Even though, you can have ES in a crazy upside move, you can still have levels that it runs into, then sells off a little bit, and then kind of starts crawling above it. Whereas in negative gamma environment, you can still go up, but those levels, as soon as you run into them, it might be like a tiny, couple of points reversal, and then whoosh through it. So it's an accelerator, kind of like somebody pressing the gas pedal as soon as we run into them. And that's because of market making activities and stuff. It's a very useful thing intraday. It takes a bit of time to get going, but yeah, it's very useful. All right, let's have a look at chat. No news, but CPI is slated for Friday as a concession for pre-FOMC inflation data, as far as I understand so far. Okay, well, hopefully we get that data. That's very good for copper. Usually, copper can trend really nicely. Okay, so Mo, have you moved away from NQ then? Is that like a permanent thing now?
Yeah, it looks like expect for reversal challenge, so I'm still connected there. However, I don't trade NQ. I stopped trading NQ. I feel better. It's amazing. It's amazing feeling, This NQ, I talk about me. It dragged me to a trade. When I decided I will not trade, I just watch. I can't. I always say setup. It show me there's a perfect stop there. Why you don't try it? But not in ES. ES, you have to wait. I mean, it takes time for a 2000 tick chart candle to form. It takes time. But if this 2000 tick chart NQ, I already have 4 candles. So
it's much faster. Yeah. I mean,
exactly, and fast is not always good.
No,
not always.
I got so much stick when we first started TopstepTV like 2 years ago about me not liking NQ. And then people were like, "Dee, what get you trading NQ?" It's like, guys, I traded NQ. I've been trading for 18 years, right? And out of that, 12 years I've been trading as a prop trader. We traded NQ, but it wasn't this insane. Something happened to it after COVID where the liquidity just went absolutely insane, and it got worse after Trump tariffs. So my dislike for NQ is primarily because I've seen what it does to people. It just irks you, right?
And don't get us wrong. It could be perfect for someone else.
For someone, for someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I cannot look at the ladder or the dome in NQ. I cannot. My eyes goes bunker, So it moves very, very quick, especially after the open. So it's not for me, and it's not shame that you could. I mean, I have been trading for what 15, 20 years almost.
Yeah.
So it's not a shame that you said no. You know what? I'm miserable at this. Maybe I become miserable at this. Maybe the market change. I don't know, but what I know, I cannot trade this, and this is no wrong. This is the perfect thing that you have to do. You have to review whether you have a problem, whether maybe the market is not syncing with you, maybe it's something new, maybe your system, maybe the platform, maybe you have to find out what is not working and change it without this narcissist look that everybody's doing that, I have to do that. No, you don't have to be like someone else. You have to be like yourself.
I think the fast movement in NQ is a two-edged sword because a lot of people trade from the dollars in their eyes and they're like, oh, it's so fast. If I can get like 5R in NQ, but ES is so slow. Yeah, but you can also lose 5R because you cannot be in control of your emotions.
You can lose 5 times 1R quickly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, on the bounce, because it keeps telling you that there's a setup and there's another setup and there's not, and then you get dragged into it, almost like a wave of emotional dysregulation, and it's a hard thing to conquer when the product is so crazy. There are people out there who are super calm, right? And they're like, I can take my one trade based on liquidity absorption or buyer or seller absorption and be done. I'm not one of those people because if my trade ends very quickly, I want more. I'm just like anybody else. The fact that I can hold my trades until the cows come home, that's because I trade products that are slower. Or, if gold goes on a run, it goes in a little bit of a smoother way. And I can stay in on gold as well. But as soon as gold starts wagging around like NQ does, I also cannot stay in on a trade. I want to take profits because it's like, well, it's already at 70 ticks, maybe I should take it. And it's like, it's not a good thing because you're not following your plan. You're just looking at price action and letting it derail you.
Yeah, same thing for if you are type of person that you like to hold the runner. I mean, good luck with that in NQ. I mean,
I
in
was
NQ,
never able to. Yeah.
you can. I mean, it's very difficult to hold the runner and go to sleep. I mean, usually you come back, it's out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but even if you have a long time frame, if you have a daily time frame and you have a nice entry, market moving to your way, you know what? I look to my daily time, I will put my stop out there. I will be break even if I get stopped out. Guess what? You will wake up and you will find out you're stopped out and the market still went your way. So that's the difficult part of NQ. You cannot hold the runner. I like to hold the runner. This is my style of trading. I love to have a good trade, take some profit, and leave a runner.
Yeah.
Leave one runner that can make my week, actually, sometime.
Yeah.
I can do this in ES. I can easier do it in ES, but not in NQ. You can do it in gold. You can do it in crude oil. And as you can see, this opening range trade that JD and Hogue are doing, many times you will find them ring to ring. I mean, bell to bell. I mean, they stay until the end of that session without getting stopped out. I bet they cannot do it for ES or NQ. They cannot for NQ especially. They will
NQ,
never do
I
it.
agree. Yes. For ES, there are times, like for example, maybe not doing an orb trade, but waiting for that head fake to happen because usually there's like the wrong move at the open and then it kind of reverses. Very few days where you get where the market just runs away. I've seen them do like one massive move and then that will be the range for the day. But on a lot of the days, even equities have got this shakeout, then reverse. But more often than not, they will be opening with some sort of a gap. And therefore, the gap needs to get closed. And then everybody looks at plowing in at the gap. So, orb strategies to me have to be done with the right conditions in mind, where you're sure that the open, or relatively sure, you can never be 100% sure, sure that the market will not test that price again. So where do you get that? You get it on crude oil mean reversion trades, short in particular. So whenever I see the live account, house account short in crude oil on the account of an orb, I'm like, yeah, especially if London took it higher. That's like an awesome setup. Somebody in the chat said, hey, I found a pattern in RBOB where London takes it higher and then I shorted it. Yeah, this is what we've been doing for 18 years. So there's this Tom and Jerry chase that I like to call the behavior between the sessions. One session takes it one way, then another session comes in and takes it the opposite way. And in crude oil, RBOB, and heating oil, that's extremely pronounced on certain days. On a lot of the days, actually. So I love shorting RBOB if it had an extended move for London and then it starts turning around pre-market. That's like my favorite setup ever. And then I'm usually out by maybe half an hour before NYMEX. It doesn't happen every single day, but when it does, that's one of my star setup. Yeah. So Mo, we have a question for you. Do you look at FVGs?
I start doing that. Yes.
Okay.
And
It's single
I don't
prints,
know
yeah.
why people are so sensitive when talk about anything regarding the
Price
ICT.
action.
I'm not a student of ICT. I'm not. I don't take everything. However, I like that idea where the market will give you a signal if there is big money coming into the market. So many people are doing different signals to know whether this move is created by algos or it is created by big investors or big banks.
Yeah.
So these indicators, not indicators, these signals or these it's a sign that there is something different is happening. I see the fair value gap is a clear footprint that they left, which they have to leave behind. I believe this is what I believe. I mean, the fair value gap is something happen. It's a footprint for them, and they cannot hide it. It's difficult to hide because they have to jump quickly now with big pile of money, which move the market to either direction, and then their smells start to. You can smell them. So this is why I like it. You can see it. I mean, for example, look at this 5 minute here. Every candle, and you can see it yourself. Why not every candle doesn't have a fair value gap? Every candle you can see here. Let's say this is the low. It has been tested. This is the low. Tested. All that, even if it is going lower. See, even if it is going lower, but the market keeps testing every candle that happened before. And then at the time where the market didn't do that, you find the market choose a direction to move towards.
Yeah, I agree. So I was taught a similar concept that we called single prints. And it's the same thing. Now, obviously, single prints are part of market profile, which has been around since 1986. And I always say that those concepts from ICT are they're solid. But, I look at them as single prints because that's how I was taught. Is it anything new? No, we've all known about strong and also Maribozu candle. So let's go back
and I believe most people, they just against it just because the idea of rejecting ICT. No, as a trader, you don't be an enemy of yourself. Don't move away something that you can benefit just because somebody say it and you don't like that somebody.
Yeah. I always say the concepts are sound.
Don't take it personal. That's
exactly. The concepts are sound. He's excellent at reading price action for sure and explaining how price behavior will happen. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But are these concepts something that is new? No, they have been around, but he obviously repackaged them, and can we even make something up that's new? Like we've known about the stop run and reverse, which is now called the liquidity sweep or something.
Order block is the same as the demand area. It is the order block. So
order block, yeah, exactly. The supply demand order block. Like,
which is nice. I'm not against that.
I like order block. I actually like the idea.
I'm not against to rename things as you understand them. It's fine. Maybe it's easier for him to explain. As a coach or as a trainer, it's important to identify things under certain names so we can understand each other. So it's fine. People are just envy of him, maybe. I don't know.
I think it's just the crazy stories that he spins. That's
maybe
the only thing that I'm that I find it, I mean, I do watch the videos, but I just find those moments a bit hard to digest. So I kind of scroll past them.
Yeah.
And I just want to get to the price action, right? Just the price action. Like, tell me what you can see, right? And
Yes.
everything else is like, oh yeah, great. Maybe it's a marketing ploy. And if that's
Yeah,
so,
always,
it's
always.
absolutely genius.
Yeah, it is. I mean, as a trader, you need to have your toolbox.
Yeah.
Your toolbox cannot be all Fibonacci. It cannot be
Yeah.
all classic. It cannot be all structure. You have to have something from each thing in your toolbox, so you have a strong strategy.
Yeah. So we have Aaron Trades. He popped into chat to say hi. So hello,
Hi, Aaron.
Yeah, very good to see you. I don't know whether you were able to bring up Topstep when you were doing your stream. I was still asleep, so I don't know. Hopefully. So yeah. So somebody's asking me, is one of my dogs named Maribozu? No. I have a Bernard. I have a Crichton. I have a Rimmer. A Leonard. So most of my dogs are named by TV shows. TV show characters. Marcus says, I just do volume if volume comes back in the same area.
Wow, gold will be difficult to trade today.
Yeah, this is what I've been finding. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be difficult to trade. It's range day.
It's choppy.
You can mark the high, the low. I'm looking to gold. It's fascinating. I think it's, this is the difficult part now. If you're a range trader, you mark your high, you mark the low. Now you are at the upper end of the range. Now, do you take a short and you put your stop there? That could be sound and good risk to reward. Or do you wait for a sweep or liquidity sweep up there or stop run up there, and then you look for a short? And that's what I do. I don't short early. If I am range trader, I don't. Yeah, I have to see it. If the market decided to go lower like they did here, for example, if you are here and you're waiting for that sweep, it never happened. Never happened. It just goes to the low. But guess what? They also didn't take the stop there, and they come back again. So I see this has to take a stop, take liquidity up there or lower, and I'm leaning to the upside.
Yeah, so leaning to the upside, would that make you more inclined to
you
wait
cannot
for
trade
the
it.
low liquidity sweep? Yeah, you can trade it, definitely.
You cannot trade it to the upside because where is your stop?
If it reaches all the way down to Asia low, so let me see where that was. So that was somewhere around 42.30, and we do have
wow, that's a big
level.
stop there.
But it's not, because look, once it takes out 42.30, you then look at it for the return above 42.30, and then you swipe. You would probably still need a 70 to 100 tick stop in these ranges to.
Yeah, but the question, even if I'm looking for the upside, I will take my target. Yeah, this is a bad risk to reward. I mean, if
no, so I'll show you.
Maybe I will look to buy it at 52.
Yeah,
50s.
I would go to 30. I would honestly
30.
go not before 30. Yeah,
okay, yeah. If I wait here, I will wait for the sweep below 25.
Exactly. Yeah, so that would be the perfect trade location for me. So let's put my chart back on, and also I'm going to drag the options levels over, just so that you can see what I mean, why I think that's a possibility. So this is trading view with mentor Q levels. So we have this range, right? So this is the Asia low, so still reactive, and they are sort of not doing the liquidity grab. We have a minor GEX level at 42.25, but we do have this Asia low as a low-hanging fruit, effectively. Because we have so many levels on the way, this always brings choppy price action. Why? Because at every price point that you see here, 50, 60, 75, 85, you have somebody who's going to hedge against the move. And that brings choppiness and range into the whole situation. But if we wait for a perfect trade location, which would be somewhere below this low, that's the Asia low, then you can have a test of this GEX5 area. We also had a very high volume candle here, which showing me like support and resistance based on that high volume, so more like what Coach J does. And if we manage to hold above that, so we sweep below it, then hold above it. What am I doing here? There's a very good chance that the 25 holds. So basically we sweep below the 230, pull back into the range, and then I still wouldn't be looking for a full rotation there. I would be looking for maybe to touch 250, which is ballpark middle of the range. And that would be the trade. Anything
also,
else? Yeah.
But if it happens and we see stop run above first, would that create a nice short opportunity?
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Maybe if we get up to 4,300, so the 300s would be my point of interest.
No. What I mean, if the price from here go up to the 90s,
I think that's too low for me, because it is a range. But look at this. You have a high here. So I would be looking for that to be taken and to retest the gamma wall, because they do get retested. And every time I tried to get involved before then, I was smacked in the face. So yeah, these days I like to wait for these gamma walls to touch, especially when they're so close to the high that was created beforehand. I don't think that, like, maybe there's a scalp here, because you're more of a, on a range day, you're more of a scalper than I am. I would still look for bigger chunks of the move and more relevant areas to get hit, so that I can get a bigger chunk out of it, rather than like take, 10, 20 points out of it. So yeah, is there an opportunity here? Yeah, probably. So if we stay really quiet, range bound, and the volume is a bit meh, yeah, 90s might be an option, 87 to 90. But again, the one thing that worries me is that there was already a test there. So I'm thinking if they're going to do it, they're probably going to run to 300 before they reverse it again. We'll see. But it's definitely very rangy this morning.
Yeah, it's just difficult. We are in the middle. I mean, we are at the high,
middle,
upper high of this range. I mean, yeah, I will wait for the gold to see either break up or down, breakout up or down.
Someone's saying, what is GEX? GEX stands for gamma exposure. They are levels that have quite a bit of open interest in them, but not as high as the call and put wall strikes. So you have big strikes where everybody wants to be involved, and then minor prices that also still have a lot of interest, but they're not as big. So they can be very good points where market makers are inclined to hedge their positions, which is why they're important. And we call them gamma exposure levels. And when you put them on the chart, it might look like there's a lot of lines there, but really GEX 1, 2, and 3 are what you're looking for. Any other GEX level, like GEX 5 that we had on gold chart, it would be more like that's the level on a range day with the highest concentration of open interest. So you can use it, but it has to be super contextual. This is not going to be an easy day on gold. I 100% agree with Mo. Very range bound. Something needs to change here. If it doesn't, we are in for a big chop on a Monday. So careful trading gold today. All right, let's have a look.
Look at the crude oil.
Oh yeah, let's look at crude, because that might be an interesting one. I don't trade crude oil outright. I trade RBOB, but I do use crude oil levels.
I was a big fan of crude oil. I was named the king of crude oil someday.
Yeah,
the king.
So I was on an energies desk for 12 years, effectively, in 3 different firms. But then it died a death. It just wasn't the same. Did we roll already? We should have rolled. Yeah, so we're at December now.
Yeah.
Crude oil is
We
rolled
have
into December.
Yeah, we have sweep up and down. We have liquidity run from the high for this range, this range. We have stop run up there, and then we have stop run down there. So now, this is, I think, what you were looking for in gold, D.
Yes.
That the 25
Yes.
level that we are looking for. You want to see this behavior.
Yep.
So you buy it, and you know your new stop now.
Yes, 100%.
So
That's
yeah,
exactly
so that will be a nice long after this liquidity sweep, especially after the retest here. That was a strong retest, which is look very bullish for me. I think we are going to 57.40 at least. I mean, this high again.
At least,
So
I
still,
agree.
still a range day.
We are in negative gamma on crude oil, which means that any levels that I have leading up to 58 even, to be honest, is probably going to act as a little bit of an accelerator. So yeah, it is looking a little bullish. Trouble is I don't like going long on crude oil. I find that longs are so much slower than shorts. And most of my longs took like, excuse me, took like 4 hours to give me 50 ticks, and then you get a short and you get an instant 100 ticks like within minutes. So I'm always a little bit short biased on crude unless we're coming away from some big weekly range lows or something that would tell me, okay, maybe it's time for a bit of a relief, but I don't think we're there just yet. So let me
Yeah, I mean the nice short to be 57.73.
Yeah.
57.73, that would be the nice short. 57, maybe 58 maximum.
58, I can definitely get behind. That's the gamma flip area too. And let me see what the value areas are doing today as well. I'm like, JD, it's like, hold on, let me read my emails for a second. That was very funny. The last couple of days, JD is like, yeah, I didn't really prepare that. Let me just go through my emails. And then he's on air, just, yeah, okay. Yeah, and somebody was like, oh, riveting TV, JD going through his emails. So I'm going to be doing the same. No, so let me see. So we have NYMEX value area low. Already, like we're inside the value area, right? So we have 56.87 as the value low, and value high very small, 57.17. Dead in the middle of that right now.
I think I would like to take a trade here in ES.
Okay.
Yeah, I will just do it for one contract.
Okay.
Not filled? Come on, this is the maximum that I can afford. Yeah, I'm filled now.
Yeah. So
Looking short.
From
yeah.
What price?
From 67.21, 22, 67.22. This is almost 2 to 1. I'm risking this high, which is about $200. This is how many points? This is only 4 points. And this is why I like ES. You are talking about 4 points of risk. Yeah. That sounds nice. In ES, you're risking 25 points, so it's in Q, I mean.
In Q, yeah, exactly. 25, and even that is not enough on super high volatility days.
Yeah.
I had somebody trading with 10 points in the previous VIP.
Yeah, so this is almost 3 to 1 risk to reward.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good trade.
Yeah, there is a reason why I look for this target. First, I expect this will do some measured move to the downside.
Yep.
Measured move will be if we keep this high. So that will give us more actually than this. So it will be 6705. Yeah, I will see what will happen at this low first, 6717.
Yeah.
I like this rejection.
Yeah. It's pretty orderly so far. There's no craziness. It's just like.
Yeah, now we need the follow through. Nice,
Yeah.
strong red candle. I preemptive it. So the entry actually should be lower than this. So the trigger should be below that candle. I need to see that trigger. Come on. 6720. We need to see that
for
trigger.
this time of day, you might have to be even more patient because everything
Yep.
is so much slower because it's technically an out of hours time. And some days it's lively, but other days, not so much. Well, most days it's going to be a bit of a snooze fest until the pre-market gets there. I'm just looking at the chat. Can you look at high-grade copper? Just joined the stream. I only look at futures. I would have to go to like yet another platform to look at spot copper. 97.15. 97.15. Okay, I mean, if you're looking at futures and you're talking about futures, then 97.15 is where the Asia low is located. So again, I would look for the market to go lower than that a little bit and then pull back above that area. So basically a similar trade that we were talking through just a minute ago for gold. So similar thing for copper. The only problem is we do have that gamma flip sitting at 95. So really a decision point would be once it gets to 97 to see what price action does and what it looks like. So if it pulls back into the range, then longs are on. But if it doesn't and it just keeps going, then really I'm looking at 490 and below, maybe 488. I wouldn't be looking for any sort of a reversal there. And because the consolidation, aka distribution, on the daily chart and even a weekly chart where it's visible, I'm not sure that longs would be appropriate for this particular time, purely because it's consolidating. So the only way to make this work, let's have a look at copper, would be to swipe longs from the bottom of the perceivable range. Now, at the moment, the bottom of this range is sitting around 483. So we're literally dead in the middle on the daily chart. Very, very even price action. There's really not much to see here. But if we maybe drop down to a 4-hour chart, you can see that even there, maybe a demand level that was reactive at 490 could be an option. But to me, now we're hitting a supply on a 4-hour chart, and the 4 hours doesn't look too hot for long. So even if we get to 497.15, I think that's a bit too high in this distribution curve to cause a long. So I think we're going to go lower today towards this low of the distribution curve. But again, nobody knows everything. ACH, anything can happen.
Yes.
But for now, H4 chart doesn't, 4-hour chart does not look too hot for me. I would like to see this at the bottom somewhere in order for copper to reverse. So yeah, very tricky on the large time frames. Very tricky, and I think this low here is much more important than this one. This one just screams, take me, take me. Look at me, like low-hanging fruit,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, it just looks like retail have bought up and they're hoping for some big move, but the institutions have a different idea there. So that's definitely up for smashing for me. Then this is another low, but it's not big enough of a swing down for me to make it a relevant low, which is why I'm saying we have this one and then we have this one as the next reference point if you're just going to look at pure support resistance. But yeah, we could have something in copper today, just not not just yet, maybe pre-market COMEX. So that'll be LME. So London Metal Exchange is going to start trading in about an hour. Usually they do stop runs pretty much into the first 40 minutes of London Metal Exchange. So yeah, just wait until a better time and better volume. How's your trade doing, Mo?
Yeah, I mean, nothing changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying
Volumes,
to.
right?
I mean, I was looking for a follow through of this strong red candle. What happened? A quick comeback from the buyers, which worries me a little bit. When you see this, that means, okay, maybe you are early in this trade. But what I see that the sellers come back again, continuing that follow through that I'm looking for.
So if I can give my 2 cents here, there is a technique that I use, which my market stalkers know. So when you have a bearish engulfing, which is what this is, unless you have a super strong auction, the test of the market shift point where the bearish engulfing was created in slower auctions is basically a high probability test point, so to speak, before it carries on lower. So for me, this is still a very valid trade, but all that it's telling me is just that the auction is not super strong because we're retesting that market shift point constantly. It's effectively like taking out single prints and then keep going like on a stair step move. And we had that same behavior previously. So that's now continuing. I wouldn't be worried too much just now because this is the London session. For equities, it's very slow unless you're trading DAX or FTSE. And I think your trade is still valid here, so wouldn't freak out just yet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as long as the market is showing me what I need to see, because I saw this red candle. This is what dragged me to take this trade. That's it, dragged me. This what start the idea of the trading. We touched the moving average after this strong move. So I like this trade because of this red candle. If this red candle get taken out, I'm wrong and I'm out.
It's your invalidation point.
That's the reason of I enter this trade. That will be the same reason why I exit this trade.
Yeah, I think you're still good. All right, let's have a look at crude oil while we wait for Mo's trade to do its thing.
My trade is not going anywhere.
It's going to be slower. It's going to be slower. London on the CME products and everything we have at Topstep is a little bit tricky. So this is why we're going to be moving the show.
Yeah, my target looks far away, so. For
now. Just wait till you get pre-market and it's going to come very close. But you may have to hold it for a couple of hours.
I hope so.
All right, so crude oil on the weekly time frame on this new contract. So remember we rolled, so we have new contract, we have December now. It is creeping to the demand area and that range low that we also had on the previous contract. I'm still short biased here. So unless we start getting closer to $50, I would still be looking for longs and then to get in short. So basically to sell rallies on crude oil. Why? Because just the candles that we have from this distribution on the weekly chart. So we had drop and then a base and then a drop. And now this was also summertime. But still, it's printed there on a chart as a distribution, as a form of supply. And we are tagging some of the demands here, but they have a new lower low, which to me is always a bad sign for longs. You want to have lows that hold in such a large time frame like they were here. That has not happened. So I'm really doubting any sort of longs that we get from crude oil in the near future. And because Trump wants crude oil cheap, right?
Yeah.
Cheap. So that's definitely a big
and Saudi Arabia allow it. So
yes, yeah.
So they are in agreement here to take the
exactly. And all we need is somebody from your country, Mo, to go, actually let's just dump like 100,000 barrels And there's nothing we can do about it. So, so again, cheap oil, pretty good for America. Is it also good for the Saudis?
What?
Do you want cheap oil or not? What's the
No,
state over here?
absolutely not.
No.
No.
So
No, but we have some mega projects in the
yeah.
country, very mega project, very big one, NEOM, you know, the World Cup, you know, preparation, building stadiums, you know, this is would cost the country a lot of money. That they range the cost of oil should be around $80.
Ooh.
$80.
So you guys are not happy about oil
Yeah,
at 56 to 57?
I mean, the country, they have the budget. Maybe they will run budget deficit for some years. That will be fine. We have a lot of money that we can.
Oh yeah, you guys are swimming in money. It's like the standard of life over there is absolutely crazy, because we used to do gigs in and around the area. We used to do like little tours all through Saudi, a couple of cities in Saudi Arabia. Then we would go to Doha, we would go to Dubai. So tell me, what would be do you know what the cutoff price would be where, you know, the country would be like, oh, we're actually in trouble, we need to start like actively buying crude oil?
Look, recently the government started to diversify the income. So they don't want to be dependent on oil, and this plan has been there, I mean, since 2017 actually. They started this plan, and nowadays, I mean, the difference now between Saudi Arabia from now and 10 years ago, 50% now is only GDP of the oil, not 90%. It was 90%.
It was,
now
yeah,
50%.
I remember.
Yeah. And this is very healthy. We have the government fund, the biggest fund. It's like Norwegian fund now around the world. We are participant in bigger companies in the world. So the income is coming actually to the country, not because of oil. That's number one. Number two, we have cash, I mean, equivalent to cash, that can let us survive maybe 10 years, even if oil is $30. You know, we don't want that, because that will slow down the growth that we are looking for. But we can live with very low price oil, especially that the cost of taking out those oil from the ground is less than $10. Actually, some field it's $5. So it doesn't cost us much to take out oil from the ground. It's different than Canada or US, or you know, that that's $60 or $50. I mean, if it is lower than 50, it actually hurts the US. So I mean, Saudi Arabia can live with low price of oil, but we don't want, because that will hurt actually the global economy, not only us.
It would, 100%. Interesting, yeah. I mean, I do think that 50 is probably like the line in the sand for everybody. It's like, do we want it lower than 50? Because there are diminishing returns, like you said. At some point, the costs of getting crude oil and then trying to make money off of it, it just doesn't add up. So I don't think they even want it lower than 50, but I think 50 would be a good bounce point, just looking at it technically and economically, right? So if we are looking where they bounced it last time, now this is a new contract, obviously, but on this particular contract, the bounce happened literally like right at $50. And I think on the previous contract it was a bit higher. So I would expect the same thing to happen. This is another reason why I think we still have some room to the downside.
A question for you. Does Brent has the same liquidity similar to the crude oil?
No, it used to. It used to. So there was this thing called, so for those of you who don't know, Brent crude is Scottish oil. And back in the day, there was a thing called the crude oil, WTI Brent spread. So you had the American oil and Scottish oil, they had a spread between them. And there were many people that were running spreads to short one and buy the other every time the spread would diverge. And that carried on for many years until we got to, I do believe it was maybe 2013, 2012, somewhere around there. The spread diverged and never came back. So now when you look at Brent crude, it's a bit of a snooze fest, even compared to WTI crude oil here, which is also not very lively these days. So very different product now, somewhat correlated, but again, if you're looking at Brent versus WTI as liquidity, WTI still has better liquidity.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But back in the day, they were equally liquid. It's just that by the time that I came to be a crude oil
You're talking
trader,
about futures or
futures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the time that I came to work at an equities desk, it was effectively 2013, 2014, and it just wasn't the same. It definitely wasn't the same. So
does the
I
UK
very rarely.
does the UK have its own future market similar to the US?
So there is the London Stock Exchange that does have futures contracts as well, but most of them will be. So the futures over here are not as popular
Liquid.
as they are in as they are in the States. So you will have, for example, FTSE. So that's FTSE 100. That can be traded as a futures contract. How many people trade it? Probably not many. Many would be actually trading the actual index underneath. But yeah, I mean, there are futures. It's just that if they are going to trade, let's say, Euro futures, they will trade it through the CME because it's the same sort of exchange. And then you have Eurex, which would be probably a bigger futures exchange, which is Frankfurt. And that's why DAX futures are pretty liquid. London futures, they exist, but not that liquid. So let's put it that way. If you're going to do currencies, everybody goes to the CME because they are some of the largest ones. So yeah, not as popular.
It always wonder me. I mean, why do I have my future market if US future market is much bigger, I mean, what's the point? I mean,
the point is that if you want futures on something like, let's say, DAX, German DAX, CME is not going to take somebody who is not in the US. So they need to make their own, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And it's the same reason why any country would have futures contracts, because there's a need for it to either hedge or to maybe get exposure to a slightly different product and control risk better, But you do have to hire a lot of market makers to actually provide liquidity. That's slightly trickier.
Yep.
Right. How's your trade doing?
I mean, still good. Nothing invalidated. We are not taking the lows, which is good for me. I mean, if this candle is starting to happen after taking the low, I will be worried. But as long as we are not taking the low just yet, I mean, that's normal behavior until we break these lows.
That sounds like a plan. I love the calmness that you have these days, because I remember when we saw you trading NQ, you were like always like a little bit strung out, and you're like,
I already have 6 trades already.
Yeah, exactly. It's like click, 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 click. But now you're just like, I have a setup, I'm in, and I'm waiting.
And I'm getting older as well, so that's...
Yeah, well, we're the same age, so... Yeah. Uptown wants to know, how did I get on a desk? So I was just a musician, so I went to an apprenticeship I paid for in a prop firm in Chicago, and that's how I ended up getting the first futures funded account. So basically, I paid for it, which was an arm and a leg, And then I decided that I actually really liked it, but they offered me a first funded account anyway. So after that, Chicago got too cold, so I had to come back. But apart from that, yeah, being on a desk back in the day meant that they don't necessarily always have positions open for all ES or all NQ traders. So they would have a certain amount of ES and NQ traders, and then they would need energies, currencies traders, you know, precious metals, and everybody would be working on a slightly different desk. So this is for like larger firms. Smaller firms, they have maybe about like 20 traders, but then everybody is kind of diversified. They don't want to have too many traders who just trade ES and not too many traders who just trade CL. So they used to kind of have about 5 or 6 people per desk, so to speak. But the first company that I went to was a larger firm, so they had, I don't know, they had like 30 people, 40 people per desk. It was crazy. So yeah, it's just down to paying for an apprenticeship, which is how it used to be. Nowadays, you have online prop firms, and your apprenticeship is basically sign up for a combine for peanuts, and then watch TopstepTV, so you don't even have to pay for anything.
Yep.
Education
Yeah, it was
is
difficult
free.
to find someone to teach you, actually.
It was, yeah. Again, Topstep for me,
My time as
when I
well.
found hope.
There wasn't even a YouTube.
No,
My time.
no. YouTube was just like singers on really crappy
Yeah,
sort of phone
for me to
cameras.
learn something, for me to learn something back in the day, I have to go to someone to talk to.
Yeah,
I have to.
yeah.
I mean,
It was like
even
the
reading books.
in-person
Reading books wasn't.
seminars. Remember those?
Yeah, seminars everywhere. You have
Yeah.
to sign up, and maybe you have to know someone that you let you
Yeah.
in, and
Yeah, nepotism everywhere. Yeah. And then you get there and you think, oh yeah, this will be great. And then they go, this is a candlestick. This is a and I'm like,
Yeah.
I already know that. And they're like, and then for the next 3 days, we have a special for 12,000 only for 3 days. And I was like,
well, and
take
courses
a
was
walk.
so expensive, so
Ridiculous.
expensive.
25 grand, some of them, some of the top
Yep.
ones. Yeah. OTA
So no,
was notoriously expensive. All right, so we have 1 minute. You're gonna decide what to do with this trade, or you're gonna keep it
nothing.
running,
I will change nothing.
You're gonna run it. Okay.
The only thing that I will change, if I see this low is taken out, I might take my stop to whatever pivot that is making right now. So maybe we are having a lower high, and then I would take my stop lower than this if we take that low. Only if we take that low. Yeah. Otherwise, I will stick to my stop there. Even if I get stopped out, still early in the week, $200, I can just make it in the next trade.
Yeah, exactly. Keeping your losses controlled. And let's finish with one last question from Kaiser Engineer. How do you guys get over revenge trading, and what advice would you give to someone who struggles with it? I've never really done revenge trading. Mo, have you ever struggled with that? Revenge trade?
Big time. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So how did you solve it?
Changing to ES. that was one of them, actually. I mean NQ drag you to take a trade and watch your stop, and it's almost always they take the stop and move to your way, and that what trigger the revenge trade.
So it's the emotional dysregulation that comes with NQ, right? It drags you into it because of the speed of the price action. So moving away from it would be very good for your mental health.
So what to do is to stop whatever trigger that emotion. What makes you actually wants to revenge trade is you're eager to make a win. Don't focus on win and lose. Don't focus on win or lose. Focus on a good trade and lousy trade. Is it a good trade that you already have, or it is a lousy trade? That's it. This is all what you can control. You can always take a good trade. You can always avoid lousy trade.
Yeah.
But
And
you
if you
cannot
do,
always take a win trade. You cannot
no.
always avoid lose trade. You cannot.
And not all lost trades are bad trades either. It
Yes.
could be like a completely valid trade that just didn't work because it's a probabilities game. So as long as
Yes.
you stay away from the emotional side of things, anything that irks you, I'm a huge believer that if you feel butterflies or you're getting irked by price action, that product is not for the person trading it.
I hope
Find something
I
else.
hope I hope Top Step X. I will suggest that to them. We might have a lockout button if I get a losing trade
Yeah.
for a 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That will be wow, wonderful.
Yeah, I love the lockout button. Don't use it as much these days, but when it first came out, I was going through a crude oil drawdown year. And boy, was I using that lockout button as soon as it came in, because it was crude oil was getting on my nerves.
When you are in a revenge mode,
Yeah.
you will last thing that you will do to lock out your account. The last
See,
thing
I'm
that
not
you
like
do,
that.
you are already in a revenge mode. So
Yeah.
it's difficult.
I don't get angry. Sometimes I get irked if something is trading in a very tight range. I do get irked. And at that point, I will walk away now. But if like, for example, what we went through 18 years ago in crude oil was we had lovely 200, 300 tick ranges for years, like for literally like 10 years. And then suddenly I'm looking at 35 tick range for the second part of NYMEX. And I'm like, okay, it's going to move. It's not moving. It's going to move. It's not moving. What is happening? And
Damn
then
it.
yeah. And then I would get annoyed, but I wouldn't say, yeah, I'm going to do another trade now. No, I would just be like, I don't know what's happening. So I need to walk away. And then I would hit the lockout button because of that. Because I'm like,
Yeah, but that's different than revenge. Revenge is totally different. Revenge is that you are in a profit, similar to my trade. For example, I was 200 in the money, and then the market took my stop, and then after a while, it is at my entry again. They took my stop. No, I will take it again, and then they took your stop. And then what happened? They go back then, and then you are in a shop, and then you want to reverse the direction, and then they go to your target.
Yeah.
That what triggered the revenge trade.
But
And
my question is, if that's happening, wouldn't your first thought be, maybe my stop is either not big enough or not in the right place? Am I correct?
exactly. So
At
revenge
all?
trade is not only to take another trade. Maybe revenge trade is to maximize your stop loss.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
irrational
okay.
thinking is coming. I mean,
See,
you
yeah,
can.
okay. Yeah, see, I've never
So
really struggled with revenge trading. I was always like, yeah, that's a bit
I'm
annoying.
not saying I'm not struggled with it, but I have been through it. I know it.
I had a colleague in a prop firm in London, actually, who obviously went into a bit of a revenge day. And then we saw him like smack the keyboard like on the table. Then he got up, went to the lobby area, and then we heard, smash. And then he had a talk with the risk manager, and then we never saw him again. So, yeah, obviously I don't know whether he lost the account, how bad it was.
Usually being revenge is your desire to be right.
Yeah.
As much as you want that, you want to be right, that much, you will expose yourself to a revenge trade more.
Yeah.
So be careful.
So
You don't have to be right.
Yeah,
You don't
control
have
the
to be
ego.
right. Believe
You
me.
will be wrong a lot in this game,
Yes.
and it's okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of. If your one trade doesn't work out, it's just a larger set of probabilities or an opportunity to tweak something in your approach. And you should look at everything.
I will finish with this quote. It's not about being right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's about what you do if you're wrong and what you do if you're right.
That's beautiful. Let's end the stream on that note, because I couldn't have said it any better. Mo, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for your time. Beautiful trade. It looks like it's slowly doing what it's supposed to be doing. So good luck. Hopefully it works out. So we will see everyone again tomorrow for another Euro trade. I haven't checked my schedule yet, so I don't don't know whether I'm on. Are you on this week, Mo?
I think
Or
I'm
not
in
the-
Power Hour today. I
Power
believe
Hour
I'm in Power.
today. Okay, so
Yep.
you will get more Mo, which is always a good thing, for Power Hour today. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. This was the Euro Trade. This is Mohammed. I'm Marcus Dorker D, and we will see you again very soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.